Hello, my dear friend. Today I want to tell you the story of Zeno of Cyprus. He was a wealthy merchant who lived around the 300s BC and traded by ship. But one day, due to a shipwreck, he lost all his possessions. This tragic event plunged Zeno into a deep depression. Settling in Athens, Zeno began spending his time reading. During this process, he was drawn to the works of Socrates and Plato, as well as other popular philosophical teachings of the time. Philosophy played a significant role in helping him overcome his suffering and rediscover himself. And thus, what we now call the philosophy of Stoicism was born from Zeno's efforts to cope with these challenging times. It's quite interesting that today, discussions on philosophy are sometimes dismissed as mere talk. However, philosophy provides great benefits in understanding the world and ourselves, as well as in interpreting the events that happen to us correctly. Today, I want to share a few key principles of Stoicism that will help you feel better in your own life. If you can integrate these principles into your life, I believe they will bring great benefits. One of the most important lessons Stoicism teaches us is the concept of the sphere of control. This concept explains that in life there are things we can control and things we cannot. Many people waste unnecessary energy on things that are beyond their control. For example, you applied for a job and were not accepted. Thoughts like, "If only I had done this differently," may cross your mind. However, whether the employer hires you or not is not within your control. But did your language skills affect the outcome? That's something you can work on. If you focus your energy on areas where you have control instead of wasting it on things you can't change, you'll be able to make stronger moves in the future. Reflecting on this Stoic teaching, I want you to reconsider the events in your life that have upset you. Is there really something you can do about the things that have caused you grief, or are they already beyond your control? For instance, think about a relationship. You're in love with someone, but they don't love you back. You may have done everything you could, but ultimately, whether they love you is something you can't control. Wasting excessive energy on such matters drains you because they lie outside your sphere of control. People who embrace Stoic philosophy see life as full of unexpected surprises. Good or bad events can happen at any moment. Are bad things always truly bad? Stoicism teaches that every crisis can contain an opportunity. Returning to Zeno's story, he could have spent his time complaining after losing his fortune, but instead he turned this crisis into an opportunity and developed the philosophy of Stoicism. If we force ourselves to ask, "What are my options after this event?" during crisis moments, we can improve our lives. The Stoics also say that bad events are inevitable, and that we should be prepared for them. Sometimes mentally visualizing the worst-case scenarios can be helpful. This prepares us to be more resilient during tough times. For example, even death can be contemplated. What happens when you die? Or if you lose your job, what's the worst that can happen? By asking ourselves, what's the worst that could happen, we become more prepared for potential disasters. Instead of being caught off guard by life's unexpected setbacks, this question can make us more resilient to possible catastrophes. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is to remember death. This includes keeping in mind not only our own death, but also the death of our loved ones. Initially, this thought might be disturbing, but over time, it makes life more meaningful. When we remember that we will die one day, we realize that what we are experiencing now is not infinite. This is why we understand the importance of using our time more effectively, building better relationships with our loved ones, and not postponing our dreams. Life is not endless, so we must appreciate every moment. When we forget death, we start to live as if life is infinite. We always assume we can make up for our mistakes or recover lost time. But remembering death teaches us how valuable our time and relationships are. With this awareness, we can stop postponing the things we've been delaying in life. Our minds can deceive us during difficult times. We might think that the negative feelings we experience in the moment will last forever. Here, Stoicism teaches us to take a step back and view things from a broader perspective. Think about the events that upset you deeply in the past. Don't they hurt less now as time has passed? The things upsetting you now will also diminish over time. You can calm yourself by focusing on the bigger picture. Stoicism also teaches us that we shouldn't be afraid of embracing our vulnerability. Many people try to appear strong and flawless, but real strength lies in accepting our vulnerabilities and asking for help when needed. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of courage. Yes, some people might take advantage of your vulnerability, but there will also be people who will help you unconditionally. Don't hesitate to ask for help. Stoics also view anger as a weakness. Anger is often loss of control. When you are really angry, are you proud of your actions or do you feel regret? Behind anger, there is usually another emotion, such as hurt or frustration. When you confront these feelings, you can prevent anger from taking control of you. This will make life more peaceful and manageable. When we forget about death, we tend to believe that life is endless. This increases our tendency to postpone our dreams. The things we say, "I'll do it tomorrow," remain undone as the years pass by. Stoicism advises us to take action and stop these delays, even if it's just a small step. Taking small steps every day can create a significant difference in the long term. Finally, Stoicism reminds us that the pain we imagine in our minds is often not as painful when we actually face it. Instead of replaying negative scenarios in our minds, when we confront the situation, we can take steps towards a solution. Our anxieties are much more painful than the events we face in real life. Remembering this helps alleviate our worries. There is much more to say about Stoicism, but this video is just the beginning. If it gets a good response, I can continue with a series called Philosophical Approaches That Make You Feel Better. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself, and see you soon.